Allow God's living waters to wash over you and refresh your soul.
You've been praying for yourself when the answer is in praying for other people. While I'm praying for California, God shows up in my house.
As kingdom people, with the king in us, and us being sovereign ground, we're not governed by the laws of this land, but we're governed by the laws of heaven.
He's talking about you going to draw water from the wells of salvation. Where's the well? In you.
If we want to release the water, watch this, we don't have to pray for it to come. Where we are now, we pray for it to be released.
Release deliverance and transformation in every area of your life through God's living waters. This revitalizing 3-message series can be yours on CD or DVD when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today.
What if you could make one decision to unleash everything great in your life? Would you do it? Would you say yes? Are you tired of your relationships, your health, and so much more suffering because you lack the truth you need to change? The life you desire is within your reach. You can achieve all the success, happiness, and prosperity you deserve by simply learning the secrets that lead to real personal transformation. Change is hard, but not impossible. You just have to make one radical decision to get real. And there's no better authority on the real steps to change than David G. Evans.
Some men trust in chariots. Some men trust in horses. But we will trust in the Lord.
David G. Evans is leading the charge to bring you the power to change your life. He is committed to the mission of helping you transform and become a person of power, and it starts with his all-new system to change your situation. At the centerpiece of this life-altering collection is David Evans' groundbreaking training course. From ridiculous to radical to real, this means war. In this series, you will discover the steps to change. This series includes 2 powerful messages, each on winning the battle in your mind and cultivating a language of faith. That's 4 messages, 4 power-filled hours of material. If you want a better marriage, this series has the answers. If you want to achieve financial independence God's way, the secrets in this series will empower you to make it happen. If you want a life of power, anointing, and influence, this series will show you how to get it, and there's more. You're looking for serious, immediate results. So Bishop Evans will also include one of his best-selling messages called Weapon of Warfare. This classic teaching will build you up to start fighting in the spirit for what you deserve. This powerhouse collection, from ridiculous to radical to real, and Weapon of Warfare, will give you all the biblical strategies you need to change anything in your life. This collection will ship to you immediately with your gift today to David G. Evans Ministries. This ministry is revolutionizing the kingdom by empowering believers. Souls are being saved daily, and we need your help to grow this impact in a real way. Call now and sow your seed of just $35 for your transformation to help people around the world. Your $35 love gift goes straight to the front lines of ministry, providing help to those that need it most. Call now. Make the decision to get the power you need to change your life forever.
It's now easier than ever to stay connected with David G. Evans and the Bethany Baptist Church family. Follow the ministry and rejoice in all that God is doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. On Facebook, you'll be up to date on the latest happenings, and you can watch our Sunday services on Facebook Live, 8 and 11 a.m. Eastern.
Here comes the power. Hallelujah.
Words of wisdom and encouragement can be found on Twitter, and you'll get up to the minute sermon points as they happen in our weekly worship services. Follow us on Instagram and be blessed by the inspirational and special moments that are highlighted each week, and meet the people who are the heart of our ministry. And if it's video you want, subscribe to the Bethany Baptist Church channel on YouTube. See the celebrations, the special events, and the many, many people who are helping to transform lives one at a time. Stay connected with David G. Evans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and become a member of our broadcast family today.
Join us for OnPointe. And we're back. Well, I'm back. Yes. You're back. Yes, I'm back. Welcome, everybody. We're so glad you guys could join us today. Do us a favor, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, whatever platform you're on. Hit that share button. Let people know that we are on this morning as we talk about relevant topics, culture, scripture, the Bible, everything, all that good stuff, and more. It's a very festive day today, this morning. We're all tired, but yet perky at the same time. I guess when the lights are on, it's time to shine, huh?
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. How you doing this morning?
Right. I know. Are you catch your? Can I do the toy drive?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, do your stuff.
We got the toy drive coming up next Saturday.
Okay.
The 14th.
All right.
If you could do us a favor, if you're anywhere in the local area, can you please help us out? Drop off a toy, also a new or gently used coat for a child, about kindergarten age all the way up to about a senior in high school.
Okay.
So about maybe 4T all the way up to about, whatever. These kids are kind of tall now. 18-year-old wears. You can help us out with that, or you can donate online at our website. Go to the2bethany.com. Click on the giving section. In the special fields part of giving, click Catch the Fire. You can donate, and we'll go out and purchase the items. You can help us out. So.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Do we still have that relationship with Five and Below in Cherry Hill?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
I think we have the cards for this. I'll check and see.
Yeah, because that's a good place to get. I went crazy last year.
Yeah, man.
I remember the first time I went in Five and Below, I couldn't believe there was a store like that.
Yeah, it's Five Below.
Took me back to the old, Woolworths 5 and Dime and 5 and 10. Yeah, it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I went to buying stuff. They got electronic stuff. I'm like,
yo. Yeah.
And I hope they don't change their policy. It helps.
I know. But these kids now, man, they don't want cheap gifts.
They might not know where it came from.
They
don't have Five Below in the box.
No. They tell them, can I have a PlayStation? Can I have some Jordans? Can I,
They better get a job.
Yeah, right, that's my thought. Do you have a job?
Better go online and create some kind of business.
Yeah. Now, I realize now, my mom said, y'all eat me out of house and home.
Yep, you realize it now.
I get it. Like, y'all hungry again? You just ate.
Yeah. Yeah. Too much juice. Get out of that refrigerator.
Yeah, drink some water.
You gonna tell me get out of the refrigerator? I live here. Come on, man.
You got McDonald's money?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Now you get it, don't you?
Right, you get it now.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets on my nerves, though.
What?
When we were kids, our parents they never had no money for nothing. When they get grandkids, they got McDonald's money. They got shopping money.
They were doing better by then.
My mother, Robin Smith, I will say it to this day. Her grandkids get treated differently. I'm like, you used to spank us for that, and now you just. She old now. She's 60 now, so she.
You all took all the fight out of her. She fought her best rounds back then. She knows she can't do it anymore.
Right, she like, nah.
Hands will be hurting and all that kind of stuff. She got to go to work now. Shoulder can't be all out of joint and rotator cuff all torn, messing around with y'all.
Right,
man, come on, man. She done healed up now. She can't do it, man.
But I get it.
Do you treat your grands different, Bishop?
Huh?
Do you treat your grands differently than you treat?
No, everybody around me spoiled right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Y'all, everybody just around. I don't know if they spoiled or not, but if you blow off the tree,
you spoiled.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty bad for you.
Yeah.
Everybody's spoiled. I don't know how I do it, but I do.
Yeah, look, you got to do what you got to do. You make it work somehow.
Welcome, y'all. Great season that we're in. I want to take the opportunity to invite you to our New Year's Eve service. I need you to put it on your calendar right now. We are breaking our tradition. We're having one service. It begins at 9 o'clock in the evening. One service, 9 o'clock in the evening. And here's the deal. The colors for this service are black and white. We're asking everyone to wear black and white, some combination, all black, all white, whatever it is you want to wear, but some combination of black and white. It is, of course, kicking in our 2020 the years of vision, imagination, and open mouth. The New Year's Eve celebration is called A Night to Remember. So we will have the Abundant Harvest Mass Choir, that is our mass choir, singing during the worship service. We will have a great time of fellowship in the Word and in prayer and watch God do some miracles, healing and deliverance, salvations. We will then transition into a concert with a very special musical guest that night. Ricky Dillard and his choir will be with us. They will sing up until about quarter of the hour, and then our mass choir will come back, and Ricky Dillard and the Abundant Harvest Mass Choir will participate in the finale.
Good.
We'll go right into the new year. Boom, 12 o'clock. Graffiti will be on the screens, not in the building. We got to be here 2 days cleaning that bad boy up.
Just the visual.
And then there's a stand-up reception immediately following all that in the hallways in the Harvest Hall, jazz band playing, giving us that night music that we need just to help us continue to celebrate and culminate a night to remember here at Bethany Church. New Year's Eve 2019, you need to be here for a night to remember. Put it on your calendar, tell some people, come on. We're going to have an incredible time. We've got an incredible word for you to set you not just for the new year, but for the next decade.
Yes, sir.
This year, 2020, is the first fruit of the next decade.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to make sure you're equipped, your faith is on fire, so that you go into this next decade expecting God to do great things and watching those great things come to pass in your life. So I want you to get ready. Good commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, off the top of my head. So
Yeah.
we are in the midst of, you welcomed everybody already and everything?
Yeah.
You sure?
But you can, yeah. I welcome everybody. You good.
Hey, y'all.
They like to hear from you, though, too.
1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267. I don't know if it's happening in your end of the world, but you need to be praying for people who are losing loved ones around this time.
Yeah.
It is amazing what is happening all over the country. I know I've been losing preacher friends almost one every 10 days for the last, 4 months, 3 months. And people are losing family members around this time. My own mother died during this season, so we are very sensitive to what people are going through. But you need to pray for the comfort of the Lord to come upon all these bereaved people.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll pray right before we end this program today.
Yeah.
So, Kamala Harris ends her presidential campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it was a matter of money or a matter of campaign policy?
It came down to money at the end because she was losing money. She had to lay off staffers.
Yeah.
One of her biggest campaign people wrote in the New York
Departed,
Times.
yeah.
In
I didn't read it, but I heard about it.
Very scathing report.
Difficult to work for and all
Yes.
that kind of stuff?
All that stuff.
Doesn't know how to talk to folk?
All that.
Oh, my.
All that. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why is it that, this is not to justify if she was doing these things.
Okay.
Why is it that a man can be a complete jerk as a boss?
Mm-hmm.
People will take it.
Mm-hmm.
If a woman is the same way,
Mm-hmm. Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Help me. Help me.
It's gender bias.
Okay.
They call a man aggressive, assertive. They call a woman the B word, witch, B word, all that stuff. It's what amazes me about the difference between President Trump and Mrs. Clinton, who I believe in my bones would have made a better president.
Absolutely.
But people were more concerned with her personality and whether they liked her rather than her ability and experience in the government. And they chose a president without experience who has literally 3,000 lawsuits against him personally from individuals, not paying contractors, bankrupting companies, just been leaving a trail of evil and hurt among people. and they preferred his personality to hers, which is amazing to me.
Absolutely amazing. It's flabbergasting.
It is so consistent that it's disgusting.
Yeah.
They'll put us, and I understand it as a minority man, as an African American man, how historically on any job I've ever held, I'm expected to do twice the work to make the grade.
Right.
Understand that's the way it is. But so I'm real sensitive to the fact that women have this expectation of them that is not expected of men.
Right.
It makes no sense to me.
None at all. None at all. And so her policies her track record as a prosecutor had some effect on it.
But isn't she supposed to put people in jail?
That's what she's supposed to do.
I mean, you're a prosecutor, your job is putting folk in jail.
Yeah. Especially sometimes you want somebody that looks like you as the prosecutor because they can possibly give you a lenient sentence. If they're not like a Clarence
I heard
Thomas.
she did what she's supposed to do.
Yeah. And she said that if somebody shoots somebody, what am I supposed to do? Let them out?
It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't at all.
So I get that she has to be tough as nails to have held the position that she held in the state of California. I get that. I just believe, and maybe this is a rarity, and I'm willing to be corrected. I just believe that there are people who can be strong and aggressive and still have people skills. I don't think you have to trample people when you're in a position of authority. Because in her position, if that's true, if she was over the top. But sometimes, I've worked with women, and sometimes to get the respect of other females,
right,
not just the males, they've got to be unyielding.
And now, that's something that's very rarely talked about.
Okay.
Because usually when it's a woman in position, they always talk about how the men respond. But I worked with a woman too as a boss before I worked here, and the ones that gave her the most problems
What are females?
I'm just saying.
Let's talk about the body of Christ.
Yeah.
So, you elevate a female or females, and it's the females that have the issue. The majority, it's almost like they're chauvinistic, but we got to get another word.
Yeah.
It's the females that have the issue with the females that are elevated. Body of Christ, corporate America. I've had females tell me they would not work for a female boss. I've had females tell me they wouldn't serve under a female pastor.
Yep.
Why? Because, and the standard answer is, I know women. That's the standard answer. I know. I'm like, for real?
Yeah. So, but do they realize when they say that
They're indicting themselves.
They're indicting themselves. So you're the same way, basically. But if you're the boss, you want people to respect you, though.
But in the body of Christ, it's like this. If you put structure in the body of Christ, for many people, it's satanic until they're in charge.
Right.
When they get in charge, then structure and process is spiritual.
Yeah.
But when they're not in charge, structure and process is Satan. You in the flesh, you're holding folk back.
Yeah. I hear from God, too.
Oh, man. When that process is saving your behind,
oh, you love it.
It's a wonderful thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're hearing from the Lord all day long.
All day long. And obey leadership, and follow instructions. And
all that's satanic and hindering until they're in charge. Then all of a sudden leadership is real. There's an anointing for it. And yeah. But I think a lot of it just has to do with Pilate says something that has blown my mind recently. I saw it, I read it, but he's talking about Jesus. And he makes this assertion. And I'm not really sure he knew what he was saying. He tells the people listening to him, I find no fault in him.
Yeah.
Meaning he ignored all the good stuff. Kept looking for something to be wrong with the character of the Lord.
To see if it was fault with him,
Isn't that somewhat like we are today?
Yeah.
We don't look for the good.
Right.
Somebody gets promoted we don't like, we don't look for the good. We try to tear it apart.
Yeah.
But watch this. In our context, if I've appointed you, like when I appointed you to be assistant pastor, I had to make it plain. If they came against you, they were coming against me.
Yep.
But people think they could attack you, and it wouldn't bother me at all. Folk think they can attack the ministry, and it's not going to bother us.
Absolutely.
It's the most insane thing I've ever. But if someone attacks their personal ministry, then they're offended.
Absolutely.
That's insane.
Absolutely. And they don't have the David revelation. Saul's wearing the coat, but the coat belongs to Saul.
There it is.
You cut the coat, you cut Saul.
There you go.
There's no way around that.
Touch not my anointing. If you cut him, when he cut the rear out of Saul's robe, he had touched the Lord's anointing.
Yep. Because he messed with what belonged to.
But guess what? Didn't David kill somebody for killing Saul?
Yep.
So he understood it when
he understood. Yep.
Man, oh man.
Yeah. That took a lot of maturity too. The person that's trying to kill you, you still protect them because they're still God's anointed.
Well, because it was what God wanted.
Because most folk, I don't know if they would have been that strong to keep Saul alive,
man,
during that moment.
Something must have occurred in David's maturity for him to go from cutting Saul's robe to now believing that the guy that actually killed Saul, David said, y'all kill him.
Yeah.
You know, take him out because he touched the Lord's anointing.
Yeah.
What happened to the guy that thought it was cool to cut the back out of the king's robe and embarrass the king?
Yeah.
Because that's what people do. They attack the church.
Right.
See, if the church is Christ's body, then when you attack the church, you're cutting the robe of Jesus.
Right.
Yeah. They don't think about that. What happens when the king realizes he's being embarrassed and turns around and uses his authority against that individual?
Yeah. You know how to throw your alley-oop on that one. Dunk it down. But
I think that she's just like any other politician. But I also think that you cannot eliminate the fact that as an African American woman, she was expected to be more gracious than an average woman.
Right.
So it probably was more offensive that it was her.
Yeah. Now I wasn't. Well, no, was I alive when Shirley Chisholm ran? When she ran in the 70s, right?
Long time ago, yes.
Yeah, I wasn't born. I mean, I just read about it because people were referring to Shirley Chisholm, Barbara Jordan,
different kind of females.
Okay.
Different kind of females. Another generation, another era of grace at all times.
Okay.
Whereas Kamala's not from that era.
Right.
She's a in your face,
out
of your face. Barbara Jordan and the other lady, Chisholm, they even when they were pissed at the Senate hearings, they were always poised, voices very monotone. Just Kamala would get in your face.
That's true. Yeah.
But to be a prosecutor,
you got to do that
in a major metropolitan area, in the largest state in the country. I don't think she could be a wallflower. I'm just
nah. Especially in the Oakland area and all the stuff like that.
And I think people were, when she did this cooking thing on TV the other day. She's in the kitchen making her stuff, doing the thing. People were looking at her like, I'm looking at her like, yo. And it wasn't like she was in there and hadn't been in there.
Yeah.
It's like she cutting stuff with speed and all this other kind of stuff.
Well, she looks very anal retentive, man.
She was doing that thing, man. So she's a dichotomy. But on a campaign trail, I'm not sure you can be anything but. Very, very, because you're not sure who in your camp is loyal.
Right. Yeah, because the lady that left went to Bloomberg
immediately
and wrote the letter. Yeah. And now, there are two things I think that got her.
Now they say that the lady that's got all the that's doing good in the polls is not a wallflower either.
Oh, Elizabeth Warren?
Nah,
no, she's in everybody's face.
They say she's in everybody's face, though.
Oh, she is.
And they say Klobuchar woman. They say she's tough as nails too.
Yeah. And
but you don't hear anybody talking about it.
No, because they white women. Klobuchar got Kamala on one of the debates.
Okay.
And Kamala was she
got her.
She got her. She had nothing to say. She got her on the point and just kept harping on it. That got Kamala. And then when she did the pronoun thing.
That was pandering if I ever
That's
saw
what I'm saying. And a lot of people were like, really? That's how far you're going to go?
I think that healthcare thing didn't help her either.
Yeah. Nah.
But for someone to have had such a historic launch, and then not been able to sustain it, but she had the launch where people knew her.
She either
that appeal at home is not the same.
Nah. I'm sure whoever, if the Democrats win, which I'm not sure about, she'll probably get a seat somewhere.
Well,
AG,
I think she should.
Vice President.
I think she should. I think she'd make a good AG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she would. And we need more like Holder, great AG. We need African American faces that understand the culture.
Yep. That are not disconnected.
Right.
And her husband's Jewish, I believe.
I know he's
Yeah, yeah. Her husband's Jewish, so she understands, I think, both sides of the coin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so, and we'll do it on our dimension.
Mm-hmm.
So you go up to Trenton, and you go see the governor, and you say Bishop Evans recommended that I come talk to you, and because of that, there's automatically going to be some credibility and favor attached to whatever you want to do because of the relationship you have with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using us as an example. I don't think it's a big deal. If my dad's the vice president of the United States and I go to apply for a job somewhere, I expect there to be a little favor.
Yeah, basically.
I don't know why they're not approaching. He's my son. I was vice president.
Yeah.
He applied for a job. They gave it to him.
They do it all the time.
What's the big deal? If being related to me won't get you anything, what's the problem?
Right.
Why be related?
It happens
All the time. Why they trying to act like it's something different?
It's a relationship. People put who they want to put on.
And here's my problem. Isn't Ivanka Trump President Trump's daughter?
Right.
And then she cutting deals all over the world
Yes.
just because of who her dad is?
Yes.
When did that get to be illegal?
Right. Nothing. And they're complaining, well, he making all this money. Well, hello, Jared Kushner's going around the world making crazy money.
Absolutely.
Junior, even though they're cheating, buying his book.
Absolutely.
And when is the last time
I wish my dad could have called up
Right.
campaign headquarters and said, look, I need y'all to buy me and my son's books.
Right, yeah.
I wish he could.
Shoot. I know, that's right.
I might not be on the New York Times bestseller list, but I'd be on Bank of America.
I know, that's right. Yeah,
Amen.
look, get the money.
Come on, Doc.
Shoot.
Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me.
People put people that are in a relationship down when they make it. It's just the nature of the business. You go with who you know and
That's
you're
right.
comfortable with.
The whole world's built on relationships.
It's not going to happen. But if it, hypothetically speaking, if you left this church and went to another church and had the opportunity to start with a new group or bring some of your old group over, I'm sure you'd bring some of your old group. Because there's comfort there. You know how the system works. Everything's set up.
I belong
It's just the nature of the business.
I belong to a club in Philadelphia, and there's a restaurant in Philly called the Fountain Room. It was #1 restaurant, one of the top ones in the world, year after year after year. So the club decides they're going to upgrade their presentation as far as restaurants. They raided the whole kitchen. I mean, everybody down to the sous chef, the dessert makers, the one that puts a little spritz on top of the dessert. They took everybody. It's a relationship.
That's what people do. You build a crew. I'm taking y'all with me.
I don't get it. If I can't get a job and my dad's the vice president,
Right.
I'm in pretty sad shape.
Right. That's like us being here, Bishop. Yo,
Come on.
Can you help us out with something?
What?
Look,
Look, ain't nobody mad when they coming down Gisborough Road.
Right.
Somebody pulls them over and they say,
Right.
I'm headed to the church.
Right. Yep.
Right.
Thank you. Right. Thank
I'm
you.
headed to the church.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm late.
Have a nice
Go
day.
have a
Slow
nice
down.
day. Yep. You leverage that relationship.
That's on my credit.
Yeah.
They pull me over,
Right.
throw me over the hood, but they bring
Right.
me.
It don't work for me, Bishop.
It didn't work for you?
But anyway.
It didn't work for you? You ain't do it right. You ain't do it right.
Did you smile when you got pulled over? Did you smile?
You ain't do it right.
Did you
No,
smile?
You ain't got to go all the way
You
there.
ain't
You
smile.
ain't got to do all that.
You got to smile.
No, she probably had
Right.
probably her face screwed up. That
You ain't smile.
But I also have
Facebook, they got me wrong.
But doesn't even God do that with us though?
hey man, we got favor
You got
because
favor
of
with
relationship.
him. My relationship with the son, use it.
Do that.
Let's go to Linda in Memphis. Hey Linda, how you doing?
Good morning, praise God. How you doing, Bishop?
If I got any better, fall down and hurt myself.
You don't need to do that.
What's happening in Memphis, girl?
I'm calling because several times I've missed the show, And you had some really good topics and everything that's really going on presently, what's going on in the nation and with the church and all. And I just wanted to, just give a comment and everything. And I really, I thank God for what you're doing and bringing to enlightenment what's going on, presently. That everyone being knowledgeable what's really going on, we need to be concerned about.
Absolutely.
So I was talking about the candidate. You were talking about the candidate, and with Kamala Harris, I was kind of like disappointed that she dropped out.
Yeah.
With her candidacy and everything, and I think one of the major reasons that the bias with the media and the narrative they try to set with all the Caucasian candidates that's running and not giving. We don't really have that many that are representing us, the minority, people of color. In this nation, and they just didn't give her a chance. That's what I felt about it, as far as the negativity coming across.
Did you think that based upon the system that we have, which is money-driven and marketing-driven, do you think she had a viable shot to be president, or do you think she had a better shot to get in the White House, maybe as vice president or some high position?
I think probably basically because of the bias and sexism. As a woman, number one, it was because of what Obama went through as a black man. But we know it was divine of God to put him in there to allow that because of his mother and father and the things that's happening with America as far as racism. So I believe she'll be better as a vice president than because people mentally is not ready for a woman and then a woman of color. And,
I kind of agree. I think after President Obama, I think President Trump is a cultural reaction to the previous office.
He is, but one of the main things, the reason what God is exposing, because when God allowed Obama to get in office, he was really just pulling the cover back to show as a nation, as far as the cognitive thinking and the deep-rooted seat of racism in America, and exposing what's in them that brought them out. When Obama became president, because you keep saying I'm not racist, but it is. It's been planted that seed for so long in them, and they don't believe it, but it's true. So when Obama got in office, then now that Trump is in office, which I consider is the grand wizard. I mean, they called Obama the spook who's sitting in the office. Now you got the grand wizard of the Ku Klux Klan and the white nationalists sitting up there. So now all these things, and they feel emboldened to do because he's up there. Do
you think that I think now this is just how crazy my mind works. I think the present culture under President Trump and the division that we have, is there possible that there's a connection that the politicians set the tone for this outbreak of separatism while President Obama was in office, based upon the way they talked to him, reacted to him, things they said about him, said about his family? It was almost like it looked like the politicians were speaking for the part of the culture that supports that kind of hatred.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
They were the Caucasian. So they were actually initially, they were the ones initially. Absolutely. Besides the media, but like I said, it's deep-rooted in them as a tribe, as a Caucasian tribe. In America, this thing is so deep, but God's trying to expose it, and they fight against it. They keep, the delusion said, I'm not, but, your action speaks loudly in your words. So a lot of things that they're doing in their policies and the bias and the racism, and there's no, the problem is, it's like the hypocrisy. You keep saying, we're coming together as a people, we're unifying, but that's a lie. It's a lie.
They're not talking about we coming together as everybody coming together. They're talking we coming together, a segment coming together. It's just like when they say the American people, they're not including everyone. They've got the American people as a segment of society.
Yeah.
It's just like I thought about the other day. There was this, they talked about these surveys. There's always some kind of poll. I have never been included in a poll, and they're saying the American people. And I'm not saying that I have to be in every poll, but I don't know anyone that's been in one of these polls.
I think, the same thing I say. Who's living the polls? What are these polls? They're not in our community. We don't never come across these polls.
I don't get a call, and I don't know anyone.
You don't even come on your phone. I don't know where the polls are coming from. I'm like, who's polling? They set the narrative. Everything the media, they set the narrative. Everything.
Girl, you something else.
And then they come out with their own polls. They pick who they want to pick, their own candidates, and the media, and they glorify them, and and all the media and the attention for them. And then they say everything for us, and then here they come, to our neighborhood communities when it's election time, and like you say, they just automatically assume that they're gonna vote because we're all Democrats. Well, and I'm just gonna be something. Let me just say something. I think because I'm in Christ and I'm a believer.
Go ahead.
But I know he's a candidate running. But I don't care if you're standing for Christ in righteousness. Buttigieg, a homosexual, practice homosexual to be president. Okay, for the black man, y'all talk about Obama being a spook. You got the Grand Wizard, the Ku Klux Klan sitting there now. And you gonna put a Buttigieg? You gonna put a homosexual in there? We at the end of the book in Revelation.
She said we at the end of the book. Go on, girl. Thank
Lord,
I hear you now.
That's a sign of the times. Come on, yo.
Thank you for calling, honey.
Thank you.
Jesus.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Robin, how you doing?
Good morning.
We got strong opinions on OnPointe, man. We got strong opinions. Go on, Robin.
Good morning, Pastor.
How you doing?
Good morning, Sister Gaines and everyone. I'm good. I just wanted to say regarding what you're talking about, the Harris, if she was listening to your teaching regarding fight to win, I think she may have gave up too quick.
You think so?
That's just my opinion.
But she couldn't pay everybody.
Oh,
she had no money.
Yeah, you got to have the bucks to do this campaign thing. She was somehow her momentum snapped. Yeah. Because they said she was raising major money.
She was.
But those campaigns require major amounts of money. I mean, millions and millions of dollars a week, I believe, to sustain them. So if you're not getting millions of dollars a week, then it's not going to work for you. Now, Buttigieg is getting money. Elizabeth Warren's getting money. Of course, Biden is getting money. But they say that Buttigieg is out raising everybody now. His problem is he's having the difficulty bringing in the minority communities, because of their traditional mindset.
And that thing he had, something happened in Indiana with the police officer, with the chief of police and blacks and something like that.
Yeah. And now they're getting him on some firm he worked for, which has a reputation for some pretty shady stuff. And he's trying to distance himself from the fact that he was one time employed by the firm. But it wasn't his firm. He worked for him.
Yeah.
So
you can't do nothing about that.
You can't do anything about that.
Right. Well, I have a quick testimony.
That wasn't your question. That wasn't your question.
No, that's a comment. But I was laughing. I'm ready to get off. I was laughing when y'all was talking about relationships. And I got pulled over leaving church one Sunday.
Yeah.
And Tamara was like, "Mom, I think the cops found you," and they came behind me. And when I rolled down the window, I said, "Well, I just left church. My spirit is just high." He's like, "You just came from Bethany Baptist Church, didn't you?" I said, "Yes, I did." So they gave me, warning. So it doesn't matter where you go to church.
Jesus.
It does matter. But the testimony is the teachings, Bishop, that you and Pastor Nick.
I'm going to use that. I was speeding because my spirit was high.
Yeah. But the teachings you've been teaching on fighting to win. A couple weeks ago, I was working. I did like 14 hours with Uber, and I fell asleep behind the wheel.
Oh no!
Yeah, and you know how you say people was it sleepwalking? Well, I was sleep driving.
Wow!
And I know that guy drove me home. I was on 495. It seemed like I wasn't going to ever get home.
Yeah.
Because I just left Philly, and when I got home, I was so alert. So I knew that the Lord guided me home. So just being a part of Bethany and letting the word sink in, you got to trust God. You got to listen to the Holy Spirit because he said pull over. I'm like, but I want to get home. I'm only like 10 minutes away from home. So, but I thank God because he led me to Bethany. I had two choices to go to. I went, when I first heard you on, I think it was TBN 2004, and I heard you, and I heard Pastor Bernard in Philly.
Okay.
I said, I need to visit the church.
Okay.
So Bethany was the first one that I went to. So I know God, led me to Bethany. But I just thank you for your prayers. I thank Pastor Nick. I went to his singles class for the first time. And Pastor Nick is so funny. Oh, my God. And he answered my question, one of my questions that was put into. But
that's good.
I just had to share that testimony. And I'm thankful. I'm platinum with Uber. I get
Good.
special access to the airport now. So
Okay.
God is really doing a lot for me towards the end of the year. My goal.
And
I owe
you're
it all
doing
to
you're doing your part.
Oh yeah, I'm doing my part.
Doing
I'm
your part.
listening to them. I'm praying. I'm sowing.
And you're working.
I'm doing everything, and I'm working.
Yeah.
He gave me the power.
Yep.
He didn't give me the wealth, but he gave me the power to get wealth. So
Thank you.
I'm just thankful, very thankful to Bethany and my family. So I love you guys. I'm on my way to class. I'm here
All
at
right.
Dunkin' Donuts to get something to eat. I'm hungry.
All right. God bless you now.
So, all right. See you
Bye-bye.
soon. Love you.
Bye-bye. 1-866-743-8267. 1-866-743-8267. Do we have time for a break, or what are we going to do? We got a break? All right, we're coming on a break. We'll be right back. You can give us a call, 1-866-743-8267, and we're going to Marie from Philly right after our break.
It's the catalyst for change you've been waiting on. New Mind, New Me, from Bishop David G. Evans.
I want to be loved. Why do I take the person that loves me and kick them to the curb? I want to be wealthy, but I spend all my money. You were created and given a slave, a doulos, a servant called your mind. Your mind is out of order when it questions your command.
If you are ready for true transformation, Bishop David G. Evans would like to bless you with the New Mind, New Me 4-message DVD set. Order today, and you will also receive Bishop Evans' national best-selling book, Healed Without Scars, as well as the Healed Without Scars music CD.
My mind's going where I tell it to go. It'll never go back. It's my mind. It's going to do what I say.
All yours when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today. Be prepared to watch a new you emerge.
Well, praise the Lord. We're back. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live. David G. Evans 1 on any smart device. Of course, my world-famous co-host, Reverend Nicholas Smith, is here. We are in a wonderful season. I want to invite you down to the church. We are having just an incredible time in the Word and in worship, and we believe you'll hear something, experience something that will change your life for the rest of your life. Let's go to Marie. Good morning, Marie. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you. Good morning to everybody.
Morning.
So my question is this. If you all can help shed some light on this.
Okay.
So I heard a pastor say that President Trump is appointed by God to be there.
Okay.
And that he's going to do something that no one else has ever done, and that's to deal with the G7, and that's preparing for us as believers to get out of here.
Wow. I hadn't heard that one.
So he's getting us ready for the end times?
He's getting us ready for the end times?
Right.
Wow.
So what does the G7 mean? I don't know what that means.
I'm thinking they're talking about that whole prophecy where all these different countries are going to come together and this whole new world order and all this stuff like that. And he's coming in to break all that up. But at the end of the day, if God prophesied that these things were going to happen, it's not, you try your best to not let it work, but it's gonna.
Here's what I think has happened with those people that are in the faith, who support him. There's so much about him that God would not choose. Mm-hmm. The first thing we have to go back to is this: the very first time we see an election in the Bible is when God allows Israel to choose their own king. That king turns out to be Saul. God had his choice, but the people wanted a king like everybody else's king. So God let them choose, in our context, vote and elect their own king. So it was what God permitted, not what God preferred. There's no way you can tell me that this man, with all these characteristics, are what God prefers. It is what he permitted. And we're dealing with a lot of elements here. Number one, a lot of the people of God sat home because they didn't like Mrs. Clinton. should have gone to the poll. We cannot afford to be locked in intellectual silos, especially minority groups.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? We have to come together. We can disagree, come together, but you can't sit home and protest because you get what we've got right now.
Exactly.
So and I blame some of our intellectual leaders for creating these silos and tempting people to get locked in them. Some of our intellectual leaders actually, they said their points of view, but didn't say at the end of the day, we've got to vote. So you got people sitting home think they're affecting the election in a positive way when they actually help this president get elected.
Exactly.
Did that make sense to you?
Yes.
I'm so glad you called.
Thank you so much. I'm a first-time caller, and
well, welcome.
I certainly thank you so much. I appreciate listening every Saturday that I can.
God bless you, babe. Call us again now.
Bless you too.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Danny.
Bishop, good morning. How
going
you
on,
doing,
man?
Pastor Nick, staff, everyone. How y'all doing?
How you doing?
Very good, very good. I'm kind of undecided of what to say as far as the weather today because I was bothering you.
I knew it was coming.
And then what happened? We went down to 52, and I tell you, I suffered the whole week. I mean,
are you traumatized?
Yeah, it was in the 50s, but the Lord blessed us to bring it back up to the 70s again. So I'm not going to bother you.
Y'all probably turned your heat on and everything.
Yeah, the heat on, man.
I had to turn the heat on, Bishop.
My God. So that means you put sweaters and jackets on this week?
Yeah.
You know what gets me when you're in Florida and it goes down to 50?
Yeah.
People start wearing boots and stuff.
Yeah, boots and furs and stuff. And
yeah, that's right. I was about to say that. I saw boots and things like that.
May not get a chance to wear them, so you got to pull them out.
Yeah. So they were pulling them out. But I just have one comment. It seems like when Obama was running, it seems like he had what they call a war chest that was very well organized. Each time you heard about it, they were raising millions and millions of dollars. And it seems like our communities as a whole was completely behind him. And you heard advertising and what have you, so we became familiar as to who he was, where he was from, and what his goals were. But it doesn't seem like we have that now. And I think a lot of the confusion comes about because like when Trump first came into office, he had this hand-picked group of African-American preachers that were supposedly behind him and religious people, and I've never seen them. I don't know who they are.
It was a photo op, bro.
And
it was a photo op.
But they were supposed to come back to let us know what the.
But they didn't. It was a photo op.
Exactly.
And they didn't. Then he didn't tell them anything while they were in the meeting. So they had nothing to tell when it came out.
Yeah.
Only reason I know because I know folk that were there.
So I don't. I think that like the previous caller, I wish that Ms. Harris, she would have stayed in a little bit longer. But then, like you say, I think that the policy behind that, come in in a lower office or something like that, and get in. Once you get in to the politics of it, people will know you more, and then the next go round, you have a better chance.
I'm not sure that, and you can correct me. I'm not sure the nation was ready for a female of any kind after having an African American president for 8 years.
But I think after you see everything that's going on with the present situation that's going on, and what confuses me is like what you were saying with Biden. They're going after his family relationship. How is it? I've never seen this before in the White House, where you go and you pick family members to hold certain offices.
Amazing to me.
And like you said, they're cutting deals. Where selling property and what have you. And nobody says anything about it.
If the previous administration was doing half of what's being practiced now, they would have called for the president's head. They went after him because he had a darn bracket board during the NCAA tournament.
Correct.
But at least he works 6-7 days a week. I don't know, man. How my sister doing, man?
She's doing great. Like I said, Bethany is just coming up to setting the bar so high for everyone. We just enjoy, and it's so inspirational because no matter what happens, whether it's a job or what have you, we just applying, what we learn and what we know. It makes life so much easier.
Wonderful. Please give her my love, will you?
We'll do, Bishop.
And we'll see you soon, man.
All right, bless you, Bethany.
Love you now. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Let's go to Carol from Pennsauken. Good morning, Carol. How are you?
Good, thank you, Pastor.
Welcome to On Point.
Thank you. Bishop, I was just listening to the caller before this one, and she was talking about the G7 and the fact that President Trump will be hosting the next one at Camp David, and the scriptures about the G7 and all of that. Well, it seems like with a lot of these evangelicals and people I won't name, they have been so diehard in their support over the president over one issue, that issue of abortion, and some others, of course. But, they don't look at the total picture, but we as a people, all of us, have to be careful about what we absorb. Because I even have some family members that are Pentecostals, and they're, trying to say, well, he's the only one that, is against abortion, and, I'm like, well, that is one issue, and we all know, well, at least in my heart, I do feel abortion is against, what the Lord wants. But I just don't understand how, whoever it is, how they can support a man that is full of so much hate, and the fact that he acts like he is God himself. I don't understand it, and we as a people, as you said earlier, we have to come out in droves, speak out against this, and we need to stop rhetoric. But I wish these candidates that are running now would speak to issues of women.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to hold you long, but that man down in Alabama that ran against Roy Moore won because of the women that got out there and campaigned, and he did not speak about that man being a molester and all of that. He ran on the issues. So I wish they would pay a little more attention to the issues of women, and one of them is daycare.
I think that the other thing that always amazed me, President Obama actually changed the way funds were raised for a campaign. He is historically one of the greatest fundraisers in the history of elections in the United States. Just untold amounts of millions, because he rallied everyone from wealth to poverty.
Correct.
You got in where you fit in with him. And he also had a mass appeal to a large group of people, even people that disagreed with him. But we're in a society now where, if more people knew that religious conservative movement was based upon, not really based upon the abortion issue, but the abortion issue is what they decided to present to give them this an integrity on its face, but it was really all about race and inequality behind.
Right.
But they pulled them up with the abortion issue, and I don't know. I don't know a reasonable Christian who's in favor of abortion. But I do know people that believe, just like you can't force your religion on me, I can't force mine on you.
Right.
And I think that's where we have a problem with the separation. I don't have a right to tell you what you should do with yourself. I have a right to tell you what I believe.
Right.
My aunt said to me the other day something that was crazy. Thank you for calling us.
Okay.
Talk to you. But love you too. She said she has a problem with people that lie to her for no reason.
Yeah, annoyance.
Yeah, it's annoying. She said, now if I ask you your business and you don't want to tell me, you got a right to lie to me. She said, but if I ain't asked you nothing,
Yeah, and you just
don't walk up to me and tell me no lie.
right.
Man, I sat there at that table and laughed about 15 minutes.
People do that all the time.
They gonna make up something. You ain't even ask them a question.
Like, what do you have to prove?
Makes no sense.
None at all.
Just keep your mouth shut.
Just be quiet.
I tell you.
I know.
Now, we haven't talked about the impeachment at all.
Okay.
What's your feel?
The House is going to impeach him.
Okay.
It's going to go to the Senate.
Okay.
They're not going to let it pass.
Okay.
He's still going to be president.
Now,
that's my unless he does something to hurt them.
Do you think that there is now they bringing all this stuff together and they brought somebody different on just about 2 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's something that they got in these closed committee meetings that in the impeachment process they can finally bring it out, they can unclassify it?
Mm-hmm.
That will start a migration. Because the scandal with the strippers wasn't enough for him.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Him calling himself Jesus wasn't enough. Him calling himself the chosen one wasn't enough. I mean, what's the evangelical gonna have to do?
It depends on. Here's the thing: if Pence is involved in any of this stuff,
yeah.
If Trump goes and Pence goes, Nancy Pelosi will be president. Mitch McConnell and that Senate Republican group are not going to let that happen. If it's up to them, I think the only way the Republican Senate will turn on Trump is if he's directly affecting their money and their votes.
Okay. Which it seems like.
It's going that direction.
Yes, they're starting to lose.
They should see the writing on the wall. Mm-hmm. But Mitch McConnell said, "Yo, the impeachment has to go through me, and it's not happening." Because the House can do whatever they want. I think they should. Mm-hmm. But it's that Senate Republican group.
I think that the House cannot sit back and conduct themselves as though impeachable offenses have not been performed by the president.
Yeah, they got to bring it up.
But I think what I think is going to happen, I hope I'm wrong, just from a humane standpoint, I can see him throwing Giuliani, the former attorney, the press secretary, and all them under a train, not a bus.
Absolutely. To save himself? Oh, yeah.
I can see him do it because he's already trying to distance himself a little bit from Rudy.
Yep.
Who he says he's not going to. But all of a sudden, me and Rudy don't do that much business together.
And Rudy's like, I got some stuff.
Rudy's like, I got a get out of jail free card.
He got some stuff. So he's going to get impeached, but he's not going to get removed from office, I don't think. And plus, the election is next year. So
you know how much damage he can do in 12 months?
Oh, no, a lot.
And what's this food stamp thing? You're going to take 700,000 people off food stamps?
This is for people from 18 to 49 that can work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm for it and against it.
Okay.
I'm for it for those people that just don't want to work and they can work and they just want food stamps. I'm against it because it's a blanket statement assuming that all these people
now are we making an assumption that all people that work don't need food stamps?
No, these are for people that aren't working.
Okay, but what I'm saying, are we implying that people that have a job don't need food stamps?
Oh no. The premise is that you have a job, you can get the food stamps.
Okay.
So you have to be able to be working at least 20 hours.
Now here's my problem. For that process to culminate, for it to get to pass, culminate and actually impact, I think all these cutting back on the things that help people are trying to make up for what that tax cut created.
Absolutely.
This $1 trillion debt, they're going to try to, but this is not going to dent that stuff.
It's not. And my thing is like this. If you wanted to do this, why didn't you roll it out? In 6 months, we're going to give you a job program. In 12 months, if you're not working by this time, then you're going to take you off. Not just one day drop it.
Because they want the money like this. Yeah. And it's going to take years for 700,000 people to get employed. If they ever get
employed. So I don't like the blanket statement where they're not working because they're lazy. That's not true of all these people.
Well, it's for a guy that only works 3 days a week as president.
Yeah.
I don't think he's in a position to call anybody lazy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He won't even read his briefs.
No.
He watches TV all the time.
And you can tell he's talking about flushing toilets and running water. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
It was the most convoluted thing.
It's just ridiculous. Well, it sounds like I hear our theme music.
Yeah.
We're out of time. Thank you for joining us today. This has been On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. Live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. David G. Evans 1 on any smart device around the world. Why don't you give us a call next week? But in the meantime, put it on your schedule, New Year's Eve, here at Bethany Church in Lindenwold, New Jersey. A night to remember.
Yeah.
There'll be more information coming, but you want to make sure you're in this place. Okay, stay strong, stay saved, and remember, faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so, that it might be so. God bless you, and see you next time.